All right, back for another edition of the Preps Plus Insiders. I'm Mike Finnerty of the Sure West Sports Show, joined by Joe Davidson here, the Sacramento Bee. 25-year Joe Davidson. I can't even count to 25
years old.
Well, no.
25 years at the Bee, yeah.
Definitely not. All right, let's lead off the show with Hot Topic, as we always do. And can anyone beat De La Salle in football?
In our lifetime, I'm not so sure. And we're talking about Northern California. Since 1984, the Spartans of Concord, the national superpower, have gone 326 5-2 against NorCal teams since 1984. Since 1991, I'm not a big stat guy, but these numbers don't lie. Since 1991, De La Salle has gone 241 0-2 against Northern California teams. De La Salle just took on Del Oro, won that game. They're just a different level, the Spartans are. And I'm still convinced that with the NorCal playoff games, with Folsom, Pleasant Grove, teams like that, it's going to be one of our Sac Joaquin section teams that bounces them. When? I don't know, but the opportunity is there. And any talk that De La Salle Ducks teams avoids Elk Grove and doesn't want to play Grant and doesn't want to play Granite Bay is absurd and ludicrous and ridiculous. Any of those words. They'll take on anybody, and the Spartans are worthy. So, but it's going to be a section team, I think, at some point that will bounce them. This year, next decade, we'll hope we're alive to see it.
Well, and kudos to Del Oro for making that game happen, and who knows, maybe we'll be in our lifetime. Let's move over to a smaller school team, not a De La Salle type team, but the Eldorado Cougars under the head coach Joe Volek. We had a chance to see them last week as they took on McClatchy. You know, we'd like to get out and see the teams that maybe aren't ranked real high. This could be a team, who knows, but we're impressed with them.
Yeah, and this is a program up in Placerville that's got great history. Skip Vanderbilt played for the 49ers, and he was up there at Eldorado High in the 1960s. And fortunes to hit hard, and they haven't had a winning team, a playoff team, since 1994 for Eldorado football. Joe Volek takes over as the athletic director about 10 years ago. He looks the part of a football coach. Sounds like his father, who was a big-time name in football around here, John Volek. They sound the same. They got the same pride, passion. And they do it with simple football. And they run the ball with Kirby, who's just a tough runner. You can see him with the elbow stuff on there. It looks like a bruising back. High school coaching, you've got to have a leader. And Joe Volek is that leader, and they are on the move. And kudos to them. It takes a lot of work, and you can see it in his expressions, but you can also hear his pride in how progress is being made.
Yeah, they are making progress. You know, a school that's been in our area for a long, long time is Christian Brothers High School, and they're pretty good at all sports.
1876 is when Christian Brothers started. It was a little bit before you and I. And 1956 is when the school moved to its existing campus on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Football, baseball, basketball over the years. And girls have really done a nice job since it became co-ed some 20 years ago. You saw the volleyball team last week. You're impressed with the Falcons.
Yeah, I've seen them the last 2 weeks. I had a chance to see them take on El Camino. El Camino, a quality team. They swept them. Then this last week, they beat Oak Ridge, swept them. Now Oak Ridge came in red hot, but Christian Brothers really looks impressive. You've got the junior Nastasha Bauman, you've got the setter Jamie Lee Bolda, a senior. You have Ashlyn Frescus, you know that name. Iris Anderson. I'm leaving some names out, but they've got a lot of talent on this team. This is a team I expect to be competing for a section championship. We'll just see if the role continues under their longtime head coach Diane Heine. A team to watch, the Christian Brothers Falcons volleyball team, very impressive.
And Fresquez is the daughter of Bobby Fresquez, one of the assistant coaches at Folsom. Speaking of championship, good living there, so good bloodlines there. But no, good to see the Falcons there. You know, some of the games we're going to preview, and we're just going to drop these names real fast. Casa Roble, Roseville, Rockland, Indicum, Grant, Del Oro, Vista del Lago, Eldorado, Center, Rio Linda. We'll try to bounce around the regions. That's our weekly roll call.
Well, let's roll call it now. We're going to start off with perhaps the highlight game of the week. That has Grant taking on Del Oro. Grant, you know, they had that tough 2017 loss to Oak Ridge, a quality team. Del Oro, they had the real tough loss to De La Salle. Both running power teams. They know each other well. How do we size this one up?
I don't know if they're going to do anything different but run the ball. Casey Taylor, longtime coach at Del Oro, that's what they have done as a championship program, run. Who's the new running back to take over for Tavon Ryan? That's very interesting there. And in Grant, power, size, physicality under longtime coach Mike Albergini, biggest line in America. So that's a good one. How about Center and Rio Linda? They both run the ball. Terrell Anderson is a nice quarterback for Center, but Rio Linda has a power back and a speed back. Power and Leo Scatabo, speed and Marcel Brown. That could be a 14-7 fist fight, so to speak, because of the physicality. If there's a guy to look for, maybe as a game breaker for Rio Linda, it's Keenan Hunt, receiver, defensive back, special teams ace.
And the guy to watch out for center, Joe Swin, running back, defensive guy. And that's a nice little neighborhood rivalry. Both teams playing real well. Should be a fun one to watch. Let's keep this going. How about Casa Roble taking on Roseville? Talk about teams that are playing well. Casa Roble, under their longtime head coach, Norm Ryan, he's got them playing well. And on the other side, you got another longtime coach in Larry Cunha for Roseville. You've got the quarterback, Peyton Wolfley, for Casa Roble. You've got Kyle Downey, the quarterback for Roseville. This is a real toss-up game.
And these are examples, Mike, of teams that championship, long-time storied programs that can take it on the chin and then come right back. Casa Roble 1-9 last season, off to a good start this year. Roseville 2-8 last season, already eclipsed that this season. Biggest guy in the field, biggest guy in Placer County all season, especially on Friday nights, is Colton Miller, tall as can be, 6'8", 300 pounds, lineman, scholar, leader, national recruit. He wins his trench wars.
Yeah. And I got to watch out for Casa Roble. Watch out for running back Ron Quinn. All right, let's keep this going. Rockland at Intercom, another good matchup. We love these preseason quality matchups. Rockland, their quarterback, Logan Webb. You've got, on one side, you have on the other side, you've got Intercom and their quarterback, CJ Spencer. Different types of guys, but quality guys that lead their teams. Again, I hate to keep saying it, but it's a toss-up game.
It is a toss-up game, and the common opponent is Pleasant Grove. Speaking of ambitious scheduling, both of these teams in this game had a close loss to Pleasant Grove. It's going to come to line play. It always is line play at all levels, especially in high school.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up with Eldorado taking on Vista Del Lago. Eldorado, we talked about at the top of the show. You got Vista Del Lago without the running back, Josh Pfeffer. Struggled a little bit against Bradshaw Christian, but they got the win. Eldorado playing good. This is going to be an interesting game. Maybe Vista Del Lago the edge.
Vista Del Lago has a great quarterback, junior quarterback. We talk a lot about quarterbacks on this show every week. Matt Jimison, just a junior, and he looks the part of a leader. He's got a great arm. This is a program that got to the section finals last year in Division III. Expect to get back in the section Division III finals and win it with quarterback Matt Jimison.
Yeah, he's a talent. All right, that's another show in the books. Always remember to check out the Sure West Sports Show on Comcast Sportsnet California, Tuesdays at 4:30. It re-airs Wednesdays and Thursdays. We also do a little radio show as well.
Live every Saturday, 9 to 10 a.m., ESPN 1320. Linked later on podcast form, ESPN1320.net. Perfect faces to smile and look at you through radio.
And if you're catching this show for the first time, we air every Monday. So remember that every Monday morning, check out the Preps Plus Insiders, as we'll bring you a big picture look at high school sports. We'll preview some football games that we had done, and we'll sneak up and cover some other teams as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.